This is Gaza Strip, ranked 11 out of 100 in the Freedom in the World survey done by Freedom House. Not really a survey, it's more of a report on the human rights of each country in the world, depending on how much evidence we have, or the evidence we have. Last year's score status was also 11 out of 100, the same score, not free. Political rights, 3 out of 40. Civil liberties, 8 out of 60. On Gaza Strip, it's Palestine, owned by Palestine. Hamas. I thought nothing could be worse than the Israel and Palestine war and the countries that are affected by it. Nothing could rank lower in the human rights report than those countries. But I was wrong. This country that was ranked lower is China. That's right. The country that I've spent many years in school in China. Ranked lower than Gaza Strip. Ranked 9 out of 100. Obstacles to assess, 7 out of 25. Limits on content, 2 out of 35. Violations of user rights ranked 0 out of 40. Last year was 10 out of 100, still lower than Gaza Strip. Conditions for the internet users in China remain profoundly oppressive and confirm the country's status as the world's worst abuser of internet freedom for the 9th consecutive year. Country facts: global freedom score, not free. Internet freedom score, 9 out of 100, still not free. Freedom in the world, not free. Networks restricted, yes. Social media blocked, yes. Websites blocked, yes. Pro-government commentators, yes. Users arrested, yes. Now, I would think by country run by Hamas, Gaza Strip, part of Palestine, Hamas, ranked is better with human rights than Chinese government. The people you see here in the background of the photo are all oppressed. They are more oppressed than the people in Gaza Strip who had their family turned into human shields by the Hamas warriors. The soldiers using their parents' bodies, families' bodies, their children's bodies as human shields to defend themselves. Now you'd think in a country that's so war-torn, it would be worse for internet freedom than China. So it's better than internet freedom. Even though no one has a phone, phones are basically non-existent in Gaza Strip. You can't even think about the internet because of what's happening right now. And yet people still think it's a joke. Still think that the war between Israel and Palestine is a joke. And Chinese government, the mysterious government, is still oppressing people more than the people whose families are slaughtered before them, before their very eyes, and turned into the lowest form of humanity by the Hamas, turned into nothing more than a rag to protect them, to protect their lives in front of the Jews. Hamas, Gaza Strip, the country's buildings, cities, bombed, people losing their homes, is still better in human rights than China. Even though China still has a variation of Google Chrome called Sogu, and has a variation of other internet sources such as Baidu. And people can still use TikTok as a form of expression. And so the people in the Chinese cities who go to parties, who are able to go to restaurants freely are able to send images, send videos to each other as a form of expression, and those who are able to transport between those cities freely are able who are also able to go on flights to other cities via the airports are less free than the people who have their parents, their whole family turned into human shields before their very eyes, their homes destroyed, their schools non-existent, the government practically non-existent. And speaking from a human myself, I reckon we should stop this meaningless psychosis paranoia towards the Chinese government or Chinese or just China in general. Like just because you can't watch your fucking YouTube shorts doesn't mean that you are suffering, that you are oppressed, like you have such bad lives. Doesn't mean that you have lost everything in life. Doesn't mean that you can't live as a person anymore. Like somehow you somehow people would rather go into a war zone than not be able to watch YouTube shorts. This is absolutely ridiculous.